Hey, what's up guys, DRC3 here, back with another My Hero Ultra Impact video. And today we are going to be taking a look at all the new stuff that's going to be put into the game on roughly the 11th or 12th of April. At the time of recording this video, it is currently the 6th, so we're about a week away from this stuff going into game. And really, I would call this like a new era of My Hero because they're starting to do costumes and stuff like that. And it'll be, I think this is like besides the World Heroes mission characters, these are like the first actual costumed characters in the game. So this is really cool and really unique to see with the new cheerleader characters that are coming out. So we do have a new UR Yaoyorozu coming out and a new SR or Rocket coming out, and then we have a whole slew of memories that are going to be coming out. So the purpose of this video today is to go over what these new characters do and what these new memories do. Now, if you didn't see my previous video, I did a previous video earlier today where I showed you guys the card arts and went through the card arts, talked about the new VE tower that's coming out, and I also showed you the Plus Ultra animation for the Yaoyorozu. So if you want to see that stuff, go check out that previous video. But if you just want to know their kits and you want to know what the UR memories do, this is the video to be watching, so make sure you continue to watch. First, I am going to start with the new UR memories that are coming from VE Tower and coming from the USJ. So this memory is going to be, I believe, in the VE Tower shop or something you can obtain, which is nice. It's always nice to have something new to grind towards, so this kind of adds to the whole PvE content. Oh, and by the way, shout out to Hydros over there for his My Hero UI website. This is an awesome website, great database. That's what I'm using right now. I always put the link in my videos, so if you guys want to go check that out, link is in the description. All right, so the Societal Breakdown is the name of this memory, and it increases characters plus Ultra move skill impact by 25% following a successfully executed skill chain up to 4 times. Also increases characters max HP by 35% if there are any villains on the team. So this is interesting. It'll be really good on a villain, making their plus ultra hit way harder. So I put it on an all for one, or put it on a overhaul perhaps, and you can see that villain hitting pretty hard. I'm still waiting for kind of better villain units to come out. Not that I'm disappointed with the villain units we have now. I think Dobby is definitely one of the better units. I really like his kit and the way he's built. But I'm still waiting for better villain units. But this is a really good memory, and it almost seems too good for the characters we currently have. But that's a pretty good UR memory, and it is a free-to-play memory because you can earn it. So be looking forward to that when that comes out. This is the other free-to-play memory that is coming out. I believe this one comes from the USJ shop. And so what this one is going to do is increase character skill impact by 45% when equipped by a hero. Hero would include UA students as well in their hero outfits and stuff like that. So it could also be equipped on them. So it's going to increase the skill impact by 45%, which is a pretty big number for a free-to-play memory. That's nice. And then also once per battle, it gives the character ability to evade 2 times when defense is decreased. So the evasion 2 times when defense is the evasion 2 times is really nice. As far as when defense is decreased, I'm honestly not too sure how often we'll see that, because this is kind of like a memory. I don't think we've seen any other similar effects to this in game, where if you're being debuffed, all of a sudden you get evasion. I think this is like the first memory of its kind. And so it'll be kind of interesting to see how this plays out. I can't say for certain whether this is going to be like super helpful or not yet, but I mean, I know there's a good amount of characters in the game that do decrease defense, like Najiri, perfect example. A lot of people use her in PvP and are actually decreased defense. Now she decreases power. I gotta think about that. Decreased defense. Okay, well, I can think of the SR Mineta off the top of my head, the cooking one. He decreases defense, for example. I don't think anyone's going to be using him in PvP. But anyways, the idea is, in PvP probably, if someone decreases your defense, you're going to gain evasion. So that would probably be a pretty nice memory for PvP, if people are actually decreasing your defense. So like I said, I just don't know how many characters in the game and what characters decrease defense. So it's hard to say if this memory is going to be super useful, but the card art, like I said in my previous video, I love this card art. This card art is sick, like a very sentimental moment in My Hero. For a show that's really, you gotta admit, not full of super sentimental moments. So, yeah. Okay. And now we move in to the memories that are included with this new banner that is coming out. Once again, that is the cheerleading banner that is coming out. These are the SR memories that you'll see. I don't know if any of them, probably one of these has to be free to play. I'm not sure which one, but as far as I know, there is no free to play SR character this time. From what I understand, I could be wrong though. All right, I do think it's going to be a summonable SR character, but we'll talk about that when we get to the characters. All right, so this memory is At the Tree on the Hill. I actually really like this card art too, and I said that in the previous video. This memory increases the power of all allies by 10% if there are any UA high class 1A characters on the team. And then if equipped by a UA high class 1A character, increases that character's plus ultra gauge by 35% when the battle starts. So increasing the power of all allies by 10%, that's nice. I wish it was a little bit more, but it is an SR memory once again. If they made it more, I guess it'd have to be a UR memory. And then the increase in the plus ultra gauge is okay. It's a one-time increase at the start of battle. That's not the best effect, once again, because everybody's trying to aim to like have plus ultra turn 3 or turn 2. You know what? You want to have all your characters roughly on the same page for their plus ultra to make the most use of them. So the plus ultra up is just kind of unless you're going to run a bunch of other memories that give you plus ultra up turn 1 with your other characters, then it can be okay. So just keep that in mind. It's an interesting memory. The art's really nice. I don't know about the effect though. Okay, and then the other SR memory that is coming out with this new event is Everybody Cheer, because obviously this is focused around the cheerleading. Let me click this down really quick. That's one kind of annoying thing about this website, but I guess you gotta have ads to get monetized and stuff like that. Anyways, Everybody Cheer increases the character's power by 25% when equipped by a UA high class 1A character. If equipped by a male character, it regenerates the character's HP by 15% for 3 turns when the battle starts. So it feels like this memory is made for Vendetta because like, he's the only one that can be healed by a bunch of girls wearing cheer outfits. I don't know. It's interesting. It's a weird memory, honestly. I'm actually surprised they brought this into the game now, instead of focusing more, like I said this in my previous video too, on getting like the characters they don't have in the game yet into the game, like Aoyama with his naval laser, or the invisible girl, I can never remember her name, but there she is in the memory. Just give me a character that's clothes. Give me a character that has no body. That's what I want to see. That would be lit. Anyways, this memory is pretty, I would call it decent. It's decent for, it's better than the other SR memory. I just don't like the art as much, but it is a good SR memory. And regenerating HP is always going to be a win. That's always really good. And then increasing character's power is still always going to be a win. So it's a decent memory. This is a memory, an SR memory you would want to get in Limit Break and keep. It is a good one. Okay. And this is the UR memory that is coming with the banner. This will be a summonable UR memory. It is Snatch 10 million points. You know, Bakugo going a little crazy right there. I do like this card art. It is interesting. Kirishima's face looks kind of fat right here. I don't know. That's just, that's me though. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you guys think. The effect is increases character's max HP by 40% when equipped by a UA high school student. Okay, so not 1A, just any UA high school student. So that is nice. A lot of times we're limited to 1A for whatever reason. UA high student is much nicer. Okay, so increasing max HP by 40% is huge on any UA high student. That's a really, really good effect. Okay, and then it's also going to shorten the character's action skill cooldown by 1 every 3 turns, up to 3 times. That is also really good if we're getting other memories that do similar things to equip to our other characters, because otherwise that's just going to throw off your skill chains and stuff like that. So we'll have to see how that goes. I imagine they're going to add more as the game goes on and progresses and builds on itself. So eventually you'll have memories that do the same thing as this, where it's going to reduce action skill cooldown. Like currently I can think of one off the top of my head where it's destruction types get their action skill cooldown reduced with like the Aizawa memory, the UR one. So there are a couple that already do this, but when you don't couple them with like 3 that are doing this on 3 separate characters, it does throw off your skill chain a little bit. So memories like this, I like them, but I don't know if they're super useful right now in the game. I think they'll become more useful though as the game goes on and we get more memories like this. So it is something you probably would want to get in the summon. Like, don't just blow it off and say, ah, it's terrible, or I'm not really needing this right now, because eventually you might need it. So it is a good pull. All right, and now we get into what everybody's been waiting for. You probably skipped to the end of the video, or maybe you suffered through all my talking for the first part. But we're going to start going over the character kits for the brand new characters that are coming out, the Ochako and the Yaoyorozu. Now, looking at their card arts, honestly, I kind of like Ochako better. I kind of like her card art better. Like, you can see her unawakened art right here and her awakened art, and I kind of like Ochako better. But that's not fair, because I like Ochako better in the anime too. So maybe that's just my preference. And you know, there's going to be a lot of people that are excited for these for whatever reason. I'm not judging your reasons, but I'm just saying purely based on card art, I think the Ochako is probably, in my opinion, the nicer one. Anyways, her plus ultra skill is Zero Gravity Kick. It deals 450% damage to a single opponent. Also shortens the action cooldown of all allies by 1, except for her. So that's kind of sad. It's gonna mess up your skill chain again. I mean, that's nice because it reduces the action skill cooldown of your other characters if they're URs, but then she doesn't get her action skill cooldown really reduced, so then you're gonna have like 2 action skills to use instead of 3, so it's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, and then her first action skill is Full of Spirit. When HP is 50% or higher, increases power of all allies by 25% for 3 turns. When HP is below 50%, increases power of all allies, excluding the character, by 40% for 3 turns. And then also increases the plus ultra gauge of all allies by 40%. Okay, so that's an interesting action skill. It's like a trade-off. So when you're above 50%, you're increasing all allies' power by 25%. But then when you drop below 50%, you're going to go up in power even more, and you're going to increase your plus ultra gauge. So this is a character that's kind of like built to be below 50%. That's interesting. That's really interesting the way they've set that up. Okay. And then her second action skill, that's a interesting icon they have there. Her pom-poms is Peaceful Cheer. It gives all allies a barrier, okay, that nullifies 1 hit. Also increases character's plus ultra gauge by 30%. I don't think we've ever seen a character that can give everybody barriers. Like, the Uraraka obviously gives dodge to everybody with her action skill, but I don't think we've seen any character that gives all characters a barrier. So that's interesting. That's actually really cool. Okay. And then her 2 auto skills. I Wanted to See You Smile is the first one. Increase the skill impact of all ally mind type characters by 25%. That is a significant buff. That is a really good buff. She is going to be a great mind type support. You know, and maybe they were saying the mind type category was kind of weak because they came out with the new Sun Eater banner and stuff like that, and they thought mind needs a buff, and so maybe they brought this character out. I don't know what they were thinking, but I do like that. That is a really good auto skill for an SR. Like, that is insanely good for an SR. All right, and then Personal Growth. Once per battle, when HP is below 50%, gives character a barrier that nullifies 2 hits and increases their plus ultra gauge by 40%. Wow, so when this Ochako drops below 50%, I think what it's saying... Okay, is it's going to increase allies plus ultra gauge by 40% and her own plus ultra gauge by 40%. So that will keep them all on the same page with where their plus ultras are. So that is nice. And then she's also going to nullify 2 hits, so that'll let her survive a little bit when she drops below 50% too. Like, pretty much trying to guarantee that you do get a chance to use that plus ultra next turn if you have gotten your plus ultra gauge up. And potentially, like, winning you a battle you might have lost. So this SR character, she is kitted. She is really, like, her action skills, her auto skills, they are very unique. She looks like an amazing support. The one thing I really just don't like, if I had to pick one thing and be nitpicky, I just don't like this plus ultra skill. shortening the action skill of all allies except for yourself is kind of like, If they could just get rid of the exclude the character part, I would be very, very happy with this SR. Overall, I think she is a good character to pull, and I would be excited to pull her as a character. Hopefully not like 30 times like the Kirishima on the Sun Eater banner, though. Just once or twice would be enough for me. Alright, and then the last character, there is a Plus Ultra animation for this. However, I'm not going to play it. If you want to see that Plus Ultra animation, go see my previous video where that Plus Ultra animation is played, or you can check out this website below. This is not my website, once again. This is from Hydros, so shout out to him for this website. Alright. Momo Yaoyorozu, ready okay. Her Plus Ultra skill, Hooray, Cheer, and Holler. Deals 650% damage to a single opponent and gives all allies, excluding the character, there's the excluding character again, the ability to make a last stand one time. Okay, that is actually sick. Giving your allies a chance to make a last stand, that is really nice. Why do they have to exclude the character though? Anyways, also increases power of all allies by 20% for 3 turns. That is also sick. Okay, this Plus Ultra, I am in love with this Plus Ultra. That is actually so sick. Alright. And then her first action skill is Big Boom. Deals 350% damage to a single opponent, increases character's Plus Ultra gauge by 30%, also increases skill impact of all allies, excluding character, by 35% for 3 turns. So she is going to be increasing her own Plus Ultra gauge here, and then she's also going to be increasing the skill impact of all her allies by 35% for 3 turns. 35% is a big number, because typically in the game what we've seen with URs is 30%. So 35%, that's an extra 5% that other characters in the game don't really have. So seeing that 35%, this Yaoyorozu, for raising skill impact, she's going to raise skill impact more than any other UR character in the game as of right now with her action skill, I believe. Okay, that's just what I think, you know. I could be wrong. Somebody could tell me I'm wrong in the comments, but based on what I know, she has the highest percentage for raising skill impact currently. So this would be a good character to pull. Very good support. And of course, that is with an action skill as well. That's not even just a action skill that doesn't deal damage. That's an action skill that deals damage, and it's raising skill impact for your teammates. So that is nice. Okay, and then her other action skill, yep, that's where we are. Her second action skill restores HP of all allies by 30%, and then also reduces damage taken by all allies by 30% for 2 turns. So that is really good as a support unit. I do think, just based on that, seeing that just now, this red Yaoyorozu is probably going to replace blue Yaoyorozu, because blue Yaoyorozu can remove status ailments, and I think heal roughly the same amount. I have to go look at the exact percentage. But this Yaoyorozu heals, and then she's also going to reduce damage for your allies, so as well as herself. The character isn't excluded on this one, so 30% damage reduction for 2 turns is like way better than removing ailments, because ailments just aren't going to be, at least at this current point in the game, all that important to remove, because you burn a little bit, oh wow, big whoop, or you bleed a little bit, you're feared, it goes away in a turn or 2, it's not a big deal. But you could take a Plus Ultra to the face and you die, so damage reduction is kind of key, and one of the big things for these units nowadays in this game. Alright, and then her last 2 auto skills, the first one is With All My Heart. It increases max HP of all ally strength type characters by 25%. This is insane for a strength type mono team. That is going to be absolutely nuts. That is going to make the strength character so much better, because I have felt like when I play strength characters like Red Todoroki or Endeavor or the Red All Might, like the red team is a little squishy. For whatever reason, I just feel like they're a little squishy. So now she's the buff the red category needed, really. She's giving extra defense and she's giving extra HP. This is really the buff the red category needed, and I feel like she's going to be a staple of a lot of red teams if you are lucky enough to pull her. And then her last auto skill, Show Me Everything You Got, increases character's Plus Ultra gauge by 30% when battle starts. Also, once per battle, regenerates HP of all allies by 20% for 3 turns when HP is below 50%. That right there, I gotta clap. This makes the character, like, this is what's gonna make me want to summon. This right here is gonna make me go all in for her. because here's the thing, they just came out with Najire. Najire was one of the first characters to offer passive healing throughout the turns for her allies. Okay, and so if they come out with a support unit, a UR support unit that does not live up to that passive healing, they are not going to be the primary choice for a healer. You know, you're just not going to choose them. You won't choose a Yaoyorozu who doesn't have passive healing over the Najire who has passive healing. And so the fact that this Yaoyorozu also has passive healing for 3 turns by 20% when you drop below 50%, that is going to be absolutely huge. Huge. And this makes her so viable, but viable in a different way from Najire. So I think they've done a really good job with this kit. And I'm really excited to see how this character plays out in game. Like, and then just looking at her art, like, I find this art kind of weird. Like, it's like pixelated right here. I don't know if that's going to be the actual art or if that's just the way this got found in the data mine and if it's going to be cleaned up. I just think that looks, I don't know. It doesn't look that nice, the purple pixel stuff. And that's part of why I say I like Uraraka better. I mean, just look at Uraraka. It's so clean. It's so nice. And then you have these characters, then it's just, it's okay. I mean, this one's obviously the Awakened art is better than the Unawakened, but yeah. Character arts. As far as these characters go, my final thoughts. I think Uraraka has the better card art. That's just my personal preference. You know, let me know in the comments below what you think. And then I think, obviously, because Yaoyorozu is a UR, she has the far better kit. Like, that's just an amazing kit. I have no complaints. I really want to summon for this character. Whereas Uraraka, she has her quirks. I'm not super, like, I want her. I'd be happy to point her, but I'm not like, I gotta have her as an SR character. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. These are what these new characters are going to look like. Once again, they're coming on roughly the 11th or 12th of April, so be ready for that. That's roughly a week from the time of recording this. Did you guys enjoy the video? If you did, please consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing below. Once again, I am aiming for 1,000 subscribers, so every subscription helps and counts. I can't speak. Thank you guys to everyone who has subscribed so far. I really appreciate y'all. And thank you to everyone who doesn't subscribe and even just watches the videos. I still appreciate those views. Thank you. Peace.